In the Caribbean, tension is boiling. Venezuela has massed 25,000 troops along its borders. US warships cut through the waters, fighter jets circle the skies.
Are you considering attacking the cartels inside of Venezuela? You attack?
Well, you're going to find out. You're going to find out.
A chilling warning echoing across the region. A clash of nations, a standoff creeping ever closer to the edge. Venezuela has pledged to sharply increase its military presence along its coastal and border regions as tensions with the United States deepen over drug trafficking. On September 7th, President Nicolás Maduro ordered a sweeping deployment of forces across several states, including Guajira in Zulia, the Paraguana Peninsula in Falcón, Nueva Esparta Island, Sucre, and Delta Amacuro. Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino López confirmed the move, stating that Caracas was expanding its campaign against drug cartels.
Our Bolivarian military aviation defends the skies. No one will step on this land to do what is our duty. We are in harmony with our people, committed to peace and victory, and so we shall overcome. Until victory always, people of Venezuela.
The fresh mobilization brings Venezuela's troop strength to some 25,000 soldiers. Initially, around 10,000 troops had been stationed in the states of Zulia and Táchira, which share borders with Colombia. The new deployment adds 15,000 personnel equipped with naval, riverine, and drone capabilities.
We began with 10,000 troops, and by order of our commander-in-chief added 15,000 more, making 25,000 personnel with naval, riverine, and drone capabilities fully equipped. In Sierra de Pereja, we're verifying the absence of illicit crops, while in Apure, our marine infantry patrols the Meta, Capanaparo, Cunaviche, and Sinaruco rivers to block trafficking routes.
Padrino added that the military was conducting operations in the Sierra de Pereja to confirm the absence of illicit crops, while marine infantry units were patrolling rivers in Apure state, including the Meta, Capanaparo, Cunaviche, and Sinaruco, to cut off possible drug smuggling routes. This surge in Venezuela's counter-narcotics campaign comes as Washington intensifies its own military efforts in the Caribbean. US President Donald Trump has authorized the deployment of an additional 10 fighter jets to Puerto Rico to target cartel operations. When asked if he would authorize strikes on drug cartels inside Venezuela, President Trump replied, "You're going to find out."
Are you considering attacking the cartels inside of Venezuela? You attack?
Well, you're going to find out. You're going to find out.
The decision followed a US strike last week that killed 11 people and sank a Venezuelan boat, which Washington claimed was linked to narcotics trafficking. The incident sparked an angry response from Caracas, which denounced the strike as an illegal massacre. Maduro accused the US of pursuing regime change, a charge Trump rejected while drawing stark comparisons between America's drug crisis and battlefield losses.
What happens if Venezuela flies jets over US naval vessels again?
Well, I would say they're going to be in trouble. We'll let them know about that. We heard that happen, but it wasn't really over, not like they described. But I would say, General, if they do that, you have a choice of doing anything you want, okay? If they fly in a dangerous position, I would say that you or your captains can make the decision as to what they want to do.
According to CNN, the White House is weighing further military strikes against cartel targets inside Venezuela, a move that would mark a dangerous escalation in an already fraught confrontation. The standoff between the United States and Venezuela has put a spotlight on an unusual detail. Venezuela's Air Force still flies American-made F-16 Fighting Falcons. Once a symbol of trust between Washington and Caracas, these jets are now flying dangerous missions over US warships. In recent days, Venezuelan F-16 carried out 2 flyovers of the USS Jason Dunham. The US Navy destroyer was operating in international waters. Pentagon officials called the maneuvers a dangerous game of chicken. The flights were seen as Caracas's direct answer to the American military buildup in the Caribbean. Of the 25 countries that operate the F-16, Venezuela is the only one now treated as a US adversary. The situation is similar to Iran, which still flies American-built F-14 Tomcats despite decades of hostility with Washington. Venezuela's F-16 fleet dates back to the Cold War. In 1982, Caracas signed the Peace Delta program. The deal brought 16 single-seat F-16A and 8 two-seat F-16B jets. Deliveries took place between 1983 and 1985. The goal was to counter Soviet influence in the region, especially Cuba's MiG-21 and MiG-23. At first, Washington offered a downgraded model, the F-16's Variant 79. But under President Ronald Reagan, US policy changed. Venezuela instead received the Standard Block 15 F-16s, along with 150 Sidewinder missiles. The new jets replaced older French Mirage aircraft. For 2 decades, Venezuela was the only South American country with such a modern fighter. The F-16s soon earned a place in Venezuela's history. In November 1992, during a failed coup attempt, government pilots used the jets to defend the state. They shot down at least 3 rebel aircraft, including an OV-10 Bronco. But relations changed after Hugo Chavez came to power in 1999. Venezuela drew closer to Russia and China. The United States responded with an arms embargo, cutting off support for the F-16 fleet. At one point, Chavez even threatened to sell the jets to Iran. After Chavez's death in 2013, Nicolás Maduro kept the same course. Washington accused his government of corruption, drug trafficking, and election fraud. By then, only a handful of Venezuelan F-16s were believed to remain operational. Reports suggest Israel supplied spare parts to keep them flying. Today, Venezuela also operates 21 Russian-made Sukhoi Su-30 Mk2 fighters. That makes it one of only 2 nations, alongside Indonesia, to fly both US and Russian combat jets. The jets remain active. In March 2024, Venezuela said one of its F-16As shot down an unidentified aircraft that entered its airspace without permission. The Air Force released cockpit footage showing black smoke from the wreck. Now, these aircraft are part of a tense standoff. Reports suggest US F-35 Lightning II jets may soon join anti-narcotics missions in the Caribbean. That raises the prospect of American-built F-16s facing off against American-built F-35s. As Donald Trump considers new strikes and Nicolás Maduro expands troop deployments, the risk of direct confrontation is rising. What began as symbols of friendship in the 1980s may now fuel one of the most dangerous US-Venezuela flashpoints in decades.